Good morning, children. Today we are going to learn our ninth lesson, that is the blossom tree. The blossom tree. Here, this is the story about the tree. What's that? Let us learn. So, before moving to the lesson, we shall learn the folk tales. What is the folk tales, fables, fairy tales and myths? We know that there are different kind of stories. So, as we know that we have the different types of stories. So, what are those? Among that, the first one is folk tales. What are the folk tales? Folk tales means the stories passed down the ages and related to local culture and wisdom. So, here folk tales means the story which has been completed before number of years ago and which is related to the culture of the area where we are living. That is called the folk tales. Tale means story. T-A-L is tale. Story. Now, coming to fables. Stories or poems on animals, usually ending with a moral lessons. Fables. Folk tales means the actual story which has been finished before number of years. Now, the fables means the poem or a story which gives us a moral, which is usually based on animals. With the help of animals, they'll create a story and they give us a moral. Those stories are known as fables. Next, fairy tales. Fairy means what? Everyone knows what are the fairies. Tale means story. The stories which feature magic and fantasy. Fairy tales. In the story, you will have a number of fairies, and which is usually based on fantasy world, an imaginary world, and magic. Then the next one is myth. Stories from ancient times featuring gods and goddesses who often communicate with human beings. So, myth is nothing but the people of the olden days believe that some god and goddesses will communicate with the human beings. Now, look at these pictures and try to match them with the descriptions. So, here we have the four pictures A, B, C and D. So, based on the pictures, we should recognize which story is it. A. Which is it? The story here you can see the animals. So just now we have seen the story is based on animals. So that is known as fables. F-A-B-L-E-S. Fables. Coming to B. This horse is a gift from God. We must bring it inside the city. It means here the people are referring that something, whatever they are receiving, that is given to them by the God. So this type of stories are known as myth, myth, myth. Coming to C. What it might be? The story of C. Here you can see a fairy. So it is a fairy tale. The last one, D. How did you solve the puzzle, Tenali? So this is the story. Tenali Raman was a clever man in Sri Krishna Deva Raya's court, isn't it? So he possessed a great wisdom in those days, and it's a true story of olden days. So this is a folk tale. So this is the introduction class of our lesson number 9. We shall continue our lesson in the next class. Thank you.